Watch what we're doing. All right, we're back.
We're back live. Hey, we took a little break
Sorry about
to
that.
make more Bloody Marys.
See if
We're
this
going
works
to check
this
and make
time.
sure
Yeah.
the feed's
Get
actually
the feed
up and running.
An unannounced break.
Yeah, exactly. A very unannounced break.
Jeez, they missed all the
Get
sponsors.
out of here, B.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Come on, B.
See a B brand, you better run.
Yeah.
For that, you don't want to get stung.
So does it record off this microphone or?
For the video, it'll be off that. For just our straight audio podcast
Yep,
that we do
we're
on
up.
the website, it'll be just off these guys.
Oh.
So
Says-
we haven't fired these ones up yet. It's just recording
Oh,
for that.
Up to you.
Tia, join back. Oh, there's two people.
No, it says.
Will
Yep.
Slater.
Oh, it's that's us watching here.
We're eating guacamole. We're barbecuing chicken and dogs
Hot
and
dogs.
drinking Bloody Marys.
Barbecue.
I don't know what you're doing, but I guarantee you're not having as much fun as we are.
Absolutely.
You ready to do this?
Yeah, you need to flip the bird or anything?
No,
Bird.
does it? Check it out real quick. Bang! Oh yeah. Oh, those dogs are already coming along.
Andy Cassie's watching.
Oh, sweet. Hey, Andy.
Oh yeah.
They're grilling their burgers.
Look at these dogs.
They probably won't know.
Got some grill marks going.
Tia's Canning Plum Jam.
Nice.
Got some of that coming your way later if you want that.
That's what I like to hear.
There we go.
I think Wes is just gonna come over here and eat all the time.
I know
No
we're a lot
problem with that.
closer.
I got a large storage capacity.
Yes,
Oh, do you guys still live over here in this area?
Yeah, you said right off of Evergreen.
About 5 minutes away, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
that's cool.
Nice, easy commute for me to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to drive all the way from Vancouver to do it by your house.
Yep.
Just adjusting the air here. Not any. Want that fire to sit down.
It's like we're getting a little choppy on the feed here. There we go.
That's probably because I'm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, low network connection.
Yeah, doggone it. That's weird because it's on LTE, so I don't know why it's low network
Not
connection.
you.
What do you mean?
You got junk going on or something?
That way to freak out the kids.
Should be better.
They're
Oh.
too high.
Let's see how we're doing.
We're too high?
What?
Oh, it's because we have the high as an elevation. We have the camera angled so when we sit down, we'll be on camera.
Oh,
But that's what they were.
it said that we were too high.
If that's what we were complaining about, probably my wife.
Way to freak out the kids. They're too high. Oh, maybe she did see us a little bit when we went over
Oh,
there.
2-8. Oh, it's second. No,
2-8.
that's Andy. Oh, the bugs. Okay. Never mind. We got. Wow, I need to scoot in here.
Yeah, we got a whole new setup here.
Back below.
What's it doing to you? Keep us up to date on.
It's probably dropping coverage. Good old Zuckerberg.
Yeah, sucking our life from us. We're gonna be going to YouTube Live pretty soon,
Pretty good
or
program.
whatever the hell that's called. What is it called?
Is it YouTube Red? No,
Yeah, YouTube
not
Red, isn't it?
No.
They have a YouTube Red, but I
Red's
think
the
it's,
subscription thing or
yeah,
something.
YouTube Live. I'm pretty sure it's called YouTube Live or something like that.
Hey, Cody's on.
Cody, what's up, brother? How you doing? We're barbecuing back over my shoulder here. You're getting interruptions? Because we're not getting any here.
It was interrupting a little bit ago, but I haven't seen any stalling out here. There you go. YouTube. I'll have to get that up and go and leave Zuckerberg in the dust.
Mm-hmm. We'll put it on here. We'll put a link to it. What up, Cody? We love you too. And we love guacamole. And we love Bloody Marys.
Need a spoon for that.
Yeah. No, we got Santitas. $2 chips. Okay.
All right,
Well,
ready to
actually do a podcast.
Cody said it sounds good. We'll go with that.
You're
Now, you guys are going to have to get used to me being up every once in a while. Going checking on the food. Got to make sure that we're not burning any chicken or anything like that. We got hot or bratwurst on there. I'm going to finish those off. So I will periodically be getting up and down as long as I
I'll
remember.
go off on a monologue or something.
Hi, Peyton. Okay, here we go.
Alrighty. Gotta get my notes together here.
Yeah, we
Little
actually have to be
unprepared.
kind of
A little unprepared.
Yeah, I know. You've only been here for 2 hours.
I know.
Okay. Ready?
Absolutely.
3, 2. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 40. Yes, we have hit the big 4-0. We are over the hill. What do you think about that, Wes?
I'm feeling good.
I'm
ready for another 40 years of this.
Heck
right?
yeah. We are joining you from a new secret underground bunker. We have actually moved the show for this show to my new place a few miles away from the old secret underground bunker, which we'll be back to at some point or sometimes. But we are probably going to have this as our base of operations for the majority of Kinetic Chaos production type stuff. So as you can see you can't see because you're listening, so I don't know why I just said that.
Facebook Live people can see it.
Yeah,
though.
Facebook Live can. I probably said it because I'm going to set the scene a little bit for us here, Wes, before I jump into
Do
everything.
it.
We're sitting in our backyard, new backyard. My son and my nephew are standing behind the camera in front of us. Wes and I each have our second Bloody Mary of the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. It's already
and it's so
quarter of the
so
way
good.
gone, yeah.
Yeah, oh wow, Wes is really getting after it. We got some guacamole, we had some meat and cheese, big table here. We've got the grill going behind me with chicken thighs that have salt and pepper on them, and then they're going to have my barbecue sauce on them later. And then for the yahoos, we got some bratwurst, beer brats, and
I'm a
regular
yahoo.
bratwurst. Yes, you are a yahoo.
This guy right here.
And by yahoo, I mean just people that are hungry soon. So that's kind of the scene here. Very beautiful day out. We're under a tree, so if you're watching home, got a little nice reprieve from the sun. We don't need to turn any more red than we already are. But yeah, with all of that, it's time to actually. I didn't even introduce you, as I'm joined by Wes as always.
Absolutely.
What do we want to do first? We want to do
something good.
Yeah, something good. I'll let you start because you know where I'm going to go.
Oh yeah,
Something good that happened to you. Oh, sorry. I have to also
yeah.
apologize for number 40 not dropping on Friday. We were moving, so that's why we weren't able to do that. And so the Friday drop was out. This will come down tomorrow, and then we'll record tomorrow night as well. So, with that being said, go ahead with something good that happened to you.
Is that I'm kind of planning on our a little one-off podcast with my cousin when he comes up to visit. We're going to do a little compare and contrast with, because he lives in California and I live in Washington, obviously. A little compare and contrast with California economics and politics and just basically everything compared to Washington. So a little compare and contrast between the two states. So we've been bouncing a lot of topics back and forth off each other. So I think it'll be a fun one.
That'll be nice. And when can we look for that one?
That's going to be on Wednesday. We're going to record that. Actually, going to be just a Facebook live stream because I won't have the audio equipment with me. So it'll be a Facebook live stream on Wednesday. I think it's September 6th, if that number is correct. I think whatever the Wednesday is after Labor Day.
Yeah.
And we'll live stream that evening. So
very nice. Well, we'll actually, maybe you guys can just come over here and we can set everything up
there you
so
go.
you can actually do a real pod. Yeah, we'll figure that out, but that will be something to look forward to. It'll be nice. And John is also half of the Tech 2 podcast that is going to be launching at the end of September, middle of September.
That same week.
That
same week that we're doing. And I think he's also going to join us on our podcast
Yes,
that
he is.
Thursday for our freestyle. We have a little round table.
Yeah, we'll be expanding things. In fact, now that I've moved back to Washougal, I booked our first guest walking through Safeway. I was getting the chicken and the dogs that you see behind me on the grill. Well, you can't see them, but and I saw Jessup Moore, who is a UFC fighter and went to school with, well, he was younger than I was, but booked him as a guest, so he'll be coming on. He's got a fight coming up. He's just determining who his opponent's going to be, so we're going to get him on probably a couple of times, once to talk about his rebound from a recent injury, a couple of years ago, and then he's got a fight coming up in November, so we're going to do some promotion for him on that and kind of learn what it's like for a UFC fighter to train for a fight. I know that's something that would interest me greatly. So
yeah.
We'll have that for you very, very soon. Look out for it. Well, what good happened to me since the last time recording? I gotta say, we moved into a new house. And it's a pretty cool new house. Got a big shop. My son is looking at me as we speak. And he is all kinds of geared up for that big shop with concrete floor. He's already got his truck backed in, working on it, looking around at things. Basically just doing hot laps on the crawler. Because we haven't had one on concrete floor that we can work on our vehicle. So it's a pretty big bonus for us. So yeah, we are very, very excited for that. Just so many great things, and to have you close to me is such a, and vice versa, is going to be such a good thing for KCP, all things KCP, so we can continue to expand the brand and everything that we have to offer. So we've got a good news story that we're going to run into. This is a man near us up on Mount St. Helens that survived 6 days up there, and he was eating berries, and I mean, he was doing the full-on survival, man.
Yeah,
it was pretty impressive.
Pretty wild. It was on a trail system at the base of Mount St. Helens. He's actually not from here. He's from the Midwest.
Really?
He came out here to visit family, and he's a big outdoors guy, so he thought he'd go check out Mount St. Helens. So he went up on the trail system up there and got himself lost, and just basically lived off the land for 6 days. That's a long time. He had no water except for whatever moisture he could get out of the blueberries. I mean, there was no water source, no stream or anything else.
No kidding.
So he didn't have any legit water at all. He was living off the moisture from the blueberries. And the other thing that was kind of weird is that he killed bees and ate the bees.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that was the one thing that I found the most interesting is Brandon can attest to. He got stung by a bee the other day, and it looked like Mike Tyson throttled his cheekbone for about an hour. But no, they the fact that he did that, because they have a lot of nutrients.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all the royal jelly and all that stuff, and that is incredibly nutrient dense.
Bees and blueberries, the two Bs, that was his diet for 6 days.
Very nice. And that's I will say, when I saw the picture of him, I thought it came out straight from like 1972, because he just had that look. Like I guarantee he's probably got a Corvette in a garage somewhere.
Well, and I guess the other thing he had going for him is he's a very large individual. I think going in, I don't know what he weighs after the fact, but going into it, they said he's like 6'5", 250.
Whoa.
He's a big dude. So if anybody's equipped to handle 6 days
with the squatch,
so I think he was the right guy to get lost. I guess
maybe that's what the Brandon and Luke should start their podcast on, is the search for Sasquatch.
But here you go.
We're in the area, and we can just send them out once a week out in the sticks with some kind of monitor, and they can just hunt the Sasquatch, the Yetis. Well, we should get into the hot sheet here. This episode will be a freestyle episode. Tomorrow, when we get together to do 41, that will be our normal trifecta. But to cover some quick stuff in the hot sheet, I'm going to jump away to check the dog stuff real quick, but I want to talk about the bridge collapse in Italy. That was brutal, and if you haven't seen the pictures, you've got to go check them out. Wes will tell you about it.
Yeah, so this was in Genoa, Italy. A bridge collapsed, a vehicle bridge. Last check, this was as of a couple days ago, the death toll was at 39. And the kind of sad or shady kind of deal about it, I guess this bridge had been kind of in bad shape for a while, and a lot of local leaders or elected officials, townspeople, had been raising awareness about the bridge, that they thought it was in danger of collapse, and I guess they'd had inspections on the bridge and found a lot of structural deficiencies. Yet they, continued on like usual. They didn't close the bridge or anything. The bridge was built in 1967, so it's fairly old. And now, due to the, in hindsight, now that they know that people have come out and tried to raise a red flag and raise alarm about the bridge, and nothing was done, now they're looking at criminal charges possible for a lot of the elected officials in the area for not being proactive enough to either close the bridge or do repairs or whatever. So the fact that they proceeded on business like usual and it ended up killing at least 39 people, we're looking at some big possible lawsuits. And as Will is coming back from the grill here.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to add was the big issue with it was the fact that they used reinforced concrete, which is something very, very prominent in all building, but even back in the 60s. Well, the problem is that if you don't have a very good inspection system, then when you get cracks in the concrete, that lets water get down to the rebar, then the rebar corrodes, and you end up losing 800 feet of a bridge, or however long that was.
Portion. Yeah.
And I mean, the pictures or the video is just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Superman or something when the bridge collapses at night. It's just gone.
Yep.
So, well, number 2 in the hot sheet, we've got a London car ramming that was on purpose, and that's a very bad thing.
This is kind of the new tactic now for the Islamic radicals. Now that people are starting, especially in the European realm, that the guns have been clamped down on, and now they're doing knife control and all the other garbage. Now the method du jour now has been car ramming for a lot of these attacks, and it happened yet again last week. A man jumped the sidewalk with his car and mowed down a big crowd of people just outside the Parliament building. And injured 10 people. Last I checked, there were no fatalities as of yet, so that's a good deal. But the British authorities have ruled that it is terrorism, and it's the guy that was driving the car is a British citizen, but he is originally from Sudan, so he's a migrant that is now a British citizen, but he's from Sudanese descent. And like I said, they have ruled that this is a terrorism deal. So,
and that's, and have they identified him as an active Muslim or?
I haven't read that part, but the fact that they kind of came out fairly quickly and said that they had confirmed that it was definitely a terrorist type attack, I would assume that would be obviously the next logical conclusion to go to. So,
and we don't want to assume too much, but
right,
we'll follow up on that and see what it was. But obviously, it doesn't matter who he is, black, green, blue, yellow, white. Anyone that does something like that has something wrong with them.
Right.
Well, we kind of had the same thing in Portland a few months ago.
Yep.
There was just on the street down
Portland
by
State
Portland State
University.
University.
Yep.
Guy was driving his car, pissed off at people, and went up on the sidewalk and started mowing people over.
Yep.
Couldn't believe it. So that's horrible, but we'll see how that ends up. Sorry, I'm having a little
It's all right.
guacamole.
It's freestyle day. It's a Sunday.
Right.
Casual Sunday.
Casual Sunday. Sunday fun day.
That's right.
Omorosa. I don't know if she'll ever get a job in her entire life again.
Dumpster fire. Yeah.
She's I don't know, man. You watch out for her, because everything she says, not the truth.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, she's just gangster.
So what's interesting is, I guess, all I knew her from prior to this was the whole Apprentice thing, Trump's reality show that he had way back when, or not all that long ago. But anyway, the other thing I didn't realize is that she actually worked for Al Gore when he was vice president. So she was in the White House under the Clinton regime. She was a staffer for Al Gore, Vice President Gore. So she's been in the White House before. This wasn't a new deal for her. And she got fired from that job. She got fired from being an advisor to Gore, and then got herself on this reality show with Trump, The Apprentice. Got quote unquote fired off of that reality show, and then for some reason Trump thought it'd be a good idea to bring her into office now in his administration, and now she's been fired yet again. So she's pretty good at getting fired.
She's really good at having secret recordings.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that.
And this is the other interesting thing, is that she supposedly basically recorded everything in the Situation Room.
I know
everything.
How do you do that?
So yeah, I guess I don't know. They don't have detectors you walk through.
I
Nobody
thought the
wants
CIA
you.
or somebody would have some kind of cool shit that would tell you, no, there's listening
There's
devices
bugs in the
on.
room. Yeah. So she claims to have recordings of all sorts of everything. That's basically anything that's ever happened since day one of the administration inside the White House. And now she's threatening to spill the beans and do. Of course, we got a book deal in the works because that's going to happen.
She's already turning the old money machine.
Oh yeah,
it's
so
running full tilt boogie.
This is full dumpster fire action here. But like you said, you take what she says with a grain of salt, because she is a bit of a loose cannon, not unlike Trump himself.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't really put a lot of stuff. I told these recordings start to drop and we actually have verifiable proof, then I'm not really buying into a lot of it as of yet.
I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that she puckered up some rear ends at the White House. There are some people that are probably very, very scared of her right now.
Yeah.
And either she's going to blackmail them to success, or she's going to print a book that will probably even be more successful, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Because she's, wow. I mean, that was pretty savvy.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of words to use, but when I saw that she had recorded in the Oval Office.
Yeah, so you'd think, like you said, that they do routine sweeps for listening devices to make sure nobody's eavesdropping on conversations. So how she was able to supposedly record pretty much everywhere she went in the White House, when, from everything I've read, they have, like I said, routine bug sweeps to make sure there's no...
Yeah, I mean, okay, we're using, and we're very high tech here at Kinetic Chaos Productions. We are using an iPhone. Yours is a 7 or an 8?
8.
Okay, so we have that just interrupted, of course.
The Ocho. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Come on back, please. Please come back, broadcast. Everyone wants to hear what we have to say. Well, anyway, her just turning her iPhone on the voice recorder, that would pick up a whole room.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was just sitting in her purse and she set that down.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, because like you said, we're using iPhone here, and it picks up a lot of sound
away.
So,
I mean, remember when we had the trucks and stuff going by, and people couldn't hear?
Yeah.
or they could hear that, but we couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy. Yeah. So, well, we got some extremist Muslims in a compound down in New Mexico, and they're causing some problems.
This is pretty wild. This is some compound they stumbled across, kind of like a jihadi training camp for young kids. I don't know if it was kids that they had kidnapped or family, kids of a family sect or a cult kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But it was 11 kids that they rescued out of this compound in New Mexico. They arrested 5 adults, and they were training all these kids to be jihadis. Basically, they were small children. They were being taught tactical firearms training, and they were being taught how to target teachers and law enforcement.
Wow!
And so they busted this ring. They arrested the 5 guys. Sadly, they did find the body of a 3-year-old child in the compound, and after interviewing the adults that were arrested, one of the adults said that they killed this kid because he was possessed by demons. So they killed this 3-year-old kid and just left his body in the compound. So that's a really sad deal there. The other thing that's catching a lot of flack that is kind of under the radar, depending on what you've read and what you haven't seen, is that the judge in this case has granted bail to all 5 of these adults.
Really?
And she is known for being a very, very lenient judge.
Oh.
Basically letting everybody off on a slap of wrist kind of thing. And so she has granted bail to all these adults. Their bail was $20,000. So they're running.
They had to put $2,000 up there.
They're running a terrorist training camp, and they're getting off on $20,000 bail. That's ridiculous.
That is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because that will, you only have to pay 10% of your bail.
And the stupid reason that she gave for letting them off on $20,000 bail, she ruled that the prosecution didn't prove beyond reasonable doubt that they are a threat to the community.
Wow.
So she gave him light bail.
What about the guy that killed the kid?
Yeah.
Did he get the same bail?
They didn't discuss him, so I don't know if they're claiming. Well, he admitted that they killed the kid because he was supposedly possessed by demons. So you got a confession right there.
Yeah.
That they killed the kid. So yeah, I don't know what that was about, but no,
that's capital murder.
I read from what I read, everybody got the same $20,000 bail.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That is
ridiculous.
Horrible, and we'll definitely have that one in the flashback because we want to hear what happens to these guys. We move on to the last one in the hot sheet, and that's West Virginia Supreme Court. They evidently spend too much money, and they don't want to be called on the carpet, do they?
Yeah, and they
step away real quick.
The hammer came down on this. 4 of the Supreme Court justices for the state of West Virginia have been impeached for rampant misuse of public funds. It found out that they were basically just misusing the funds that they were given, and also funds that weren't even allocated to them. They were using. They got a hold of somehow. This coming from the fact that West Virginia is one of the poorest states in the United States, yet these judges were frivolously spending. I've got a few dollar amounts and items here that are kind of interesting to note. One of the justices spent $42,000 on her desk.
On her desk?
On a desk. $42K on a desk. $32,000 on a suede sofa.
Well, everyone needs a suede sofa.
There you go. And all told, I got a few more stats here for you in a second, but all told, these 4 justices that have been removed from office, they spent a combined total of $3 million on office renovations.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That makes that, what desk was it that, what's his name, Scott Pruitt bought for
Oh, that's
40
right.
grand or whatever?
Yep, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, and one of these 4 justices spent $500,000 on her office alone, redecorating. Half a million on her office. And so a couple more dollar figures to throw at you. This one gal, she was basically the worst offender, although they all misspent, but this one gal was the worst. She spent $28,000 on rugs, $8,000 on her office chair, her desk chair, $8,000 on a chair to sit in at her desk. $2,000 on paint for her office.
That better be some damn good paint.
Yeah. $6,000 on drapes, $2,000 on a coffee table, and $2,000 on throw pillows.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Yep. So they have all been removed from office, and I would certainly hope that she's going to have to pay all that back.
So do I. This is the crazy part. They're going to go back to the private sector, and they're going to make 3 times as much money as they made as a Supreme Court judge.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why they make up for it, though, is having this outlandish BS like that in their office. That's how they make up for the lack of money that, because they'd probably be making $1 million a year, maybe half a million in the private sector.
Yep.
Have to take a monster pay cut to serve the citizens, but we can take the citizens to the woodshed by buying all this other crap and going on trips and whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's what's horrible. But that kind of crap happens. I mean, we had it here in Clark County with Don Benton,
Yep.
and I mean, it happens nonstop. That's the problem with having people that we don't know whether they're good, if they're going to be a good steward with our money or not.
Right.
We just know that they look good on camera, or what they say is slick. So, well, let's go into the old flashback follow-up here. The search is narrowed for the missing Iowa college student. Have we gotten an update even since this?
No. I looked again last night, and there was no new update. This is Molly Tibbetts, who is a college student out at the University of Iowa. She went missing back on July 18th, so we're basically right at a month now. She's been missing for a month. Mm-hmm. Still technically no sign of her. They've narrowed it down to 5 sites in the city of Brooklyn, Iowa, including a truck stop, and then several different vacant fields in the area as well. We talked about previously about this story that they had kind of focused in on a pig farm, and from what I read, they've kind of now moved away from that. They're not focused on that pig farm really anymore. So
I bet you that guy is very, very excited.
Yeah, but the fact that she's been missing for a month now, that's not exactly a good sign. So
I mean, I've watched that first 48,
Yeah.
and they say that if you don't solve a crime within
your chances
48
go
hours,
way down.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty incredible after 48 hours.
It drops way off.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean it goes from a very high likelihood of catching them to, I mean, I want to say down into like 10 to 20%.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's
It's pretty
correct. I've heard
nuts.
that
So
too.
We'll hopefully at least have some kind of closure on this in the very near future, because well, that's what we want. We
Yep.
want, if it is going to be a bad thing, which we do not want that, but just for the families to know,
Right.
because that's the worst part, is not knowing on anything. It's being in limbo, and yeah, you could say it's a control issue, but more than that, it's just, you're trying to plan, you're trying to, whether I should still be searching, whether, you should be setting up funeral, whatever it is. You want some kind of answer. So
Yeah.
I totally understand that. So, well, that's the serious stuff. Wow, damn it, the dang here.
Feed dropped
The
again.
feed dropped. Yep, broadcast.
there we're back.
Here we're back.
Still have
Maybe
some
you'll-
sketchy
yeah.
issues. Maybe YouTube will treat us better. We got to get that going.
This is ridiculous. Our people want to watch us. No, it's time for the freestyle.
Yep.
And I'm pretty excited about the freestyle. Got some fun stuff going on. This is almost the best time of year. We're about a week away, maybe a week and a half away from the best time of year, and that's that school starts, and so does football.
Yeah.
So that's on my list. But why don't you start us off there, Chief?
Well, and first, I think before we do that, let's leave a little break for the Platinum Moms.
Platinum Moms, we got a
I guess
they're not going to have one.
Never mind. We'll edit that out in post. I forgot what day we're on here. This
by
Sunday
we,
thing.
he means I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot what day we're on. My bad.
Have another Bloody Mary.
It's trying to keep us on track here.
I noticed you were slurring your words.
It's good. No, it's because I was prepping for Monday's show last night, and I thought about that, and then I got the two shows mixed up. Mm-hmm. So my bad. All right. So am I going number one on freestyle?
Yeah.
All right.
What are we doing?
I got our usual fun stuff of the top three lists, but I'm saving those for number 2 and 3. So the number 1 is my heavy hitter.
Okay.
Should voting, i.e. political voting, that being presidential voting, your local elections, your local bond measures, all that kind of stuff, anything you vote on, should that be moved online? No. As opposed to the old paper mail-in thing?
I just don't trust it.
Yeah.
It is so easy, regardless of
the Russian hackers.
I don't care if it's a Russian hacker or Chinese, it doesn't matter. It is, and I think there's still something patriotic about going to the polls. And I think that you'll actually see that if you went fully online, it would go opposite of what people think, that it would make it easier so more people will do it. People take it seriously, and I think that the other thing is that when you get that voter's pamphlet in the mail, you pay more attention to it than something that's online.
And I agree with you on that respect. So, but I'm thinking that at least as far as I'm aware, and in our state, in our area, it is that you don't go to the polling places. Bronx. You don't go to the polling places anymore. It's all vote by mail now. And that can lead to, the problem there is that then you send it, and not to say that there won't be problems with internet voting, because that could get hacked into and all sorts of stuff, but the issue with the whole mail-in thing is then you got people manually counting ballots and somebody screws up, or this box of ballots got misdelivered and nobody saw this box sitting off to the side. We've seen that before here locally, where they miss whole chunks of ballots because, we didn't realize that was sitting over there. We forgot those ones. So in order to, I like the idea of moving to an online system to cut down on the human error, but then you open yourself up to other issues in terms of hacking type of issues. The big thing, I did some research on it because I wanted to know the numbers, because I've read about this before, and the big go-to line about people that don't want to do this is not the hacking issue. It's the whole standby of, there's, all these people don't have internet, they won't be able to vote. So I wanted to get the hard numbers on that, and also as a caveat to that, if there are legit people that don't have access to the internet, you can still make exceptions and give them mail-in ballots, would be the thing. But I wanted to get the hard numbers on that, because that's the excuse I always hear, is that there's so many people that would be disenfranchised because they don't have internet. Pew Research released they do every year, they keep track of how many people have access to the internet in the U.S. And as of the end of 2017, 89% of adults had access to the internet. So that's a pretty good chunk of people. 89%. So for those 11% that have no access to the internet, then I would say, you can still make exceptions and give them paper ballots. But I don't know, I just thought, obviously, as we move into the future and everything is so technology driven now and it's all electronic, all online, I figure that's going to be an inevitable thing at some point, that we're going to move to an online voting system. But there's obviously a lot of security issues that you got to worry about, because you're trying to do that to combat the human element of mistakes and negligence or fraud, people changing, fudging stuff on the paper ballot, but then you can also have fraud on the electronic side too. So it's interesting, it's a dichotomy there. So.
Yeah, I think first of all, I think any method presents itself to fraud. Yeah. You're never going to get fraud out of anything if there's money to be made. And politics is obviously one of the biggest ways to make money for people. My big issue is You know, I talked about the McDonald's thing a few weeks ago with the guy that was the czar of all the McDonald's game pieces that were winners.
Yep.
And he was basically handing them out to his family. And they, you know, he would charge them a small fee, $40,000-$50,000, and he'd give them $1 million winners.
Right.
And it was crazy. I mean, people, I got $1 million. It was like Oprah giving out cards. But so I believe there is something that like that could happen in terms of a foreign government getting into a head of security at one of these outfits, something like that, where, I mean, I think the biggest thing is to decentralize the voting system. If you're going to go to that, you
right.
cannot centralize it. If you centralize it, the more points there are to disruption, the better result I believe you would get in voting.
Yeah.
But if you have one pollster, one company that controls it, it makes it way too easy for even the CEO. I don't care who it is, or you wouldn't want to go after the CEO. You would obviously go after the chief security officer or somebody like that could have an impact on the code. But whether it's blackmail, like we'll kill you
right.
if you don't do this.
Right.
And I wouldn't put anything past somebody like Russia, China, anyone like that. We'll kill your wife. We'll drain your finances. It's so easy. You know, the same reason that being a jailer or working for the state jail system is so hard, because you have all of these people that are bad people, and the good guys are supposed to be the jailers, but they get flipped right away because those guys have so much power. Yeah. Whether it's Aryan Nation, whether it's the what is it, the big
the MS-13,
MS-13, all those, you know, these huge prison gangs, and they get to those guys right away because they're making $14-15 an hour. But I can see, I don't care if you work for Symantec and you're making $800,000 a year. Well, if they float $25 million in front of you, and all you got to do is flip a couple switches, boy, that could put a lot of stuff at risk.
Absolutely.
And so I would just have a big issue with that. I think that if I could see that it was decentralized enough, almost like Canada handled it or something, I would be open to listening to more about it. But as it stands right now, I just have no trust in anyone to get anything done. I mean, we've talked about me dropping episodes, and I won't do it on an unsecured network if I don't have to. I mean, I did it one time, and I had already logged in. I just went and I hooked up, dropped it, and unhooked, because it's so prevalent. You never know who is out there trying to gift your take your stuff from it. Right. So I want to stay away from that as long as we can until we get, and 258 or 256 encryption and all that stuff is great. 512 encryption that the government, the military uses is awesome. It's incredibly expensive, and it can still be cracked. Anything can be cracked. There's no fail-safe. So anyway, well, my first one is a little less serious in terms of, like, you know, politics and stuff. But I've been thinking about this lately as I've entered my 41st or 42nd year of life. I just turned 41. What are some things that we buy only once in our life? Or when you buy them one time, you may buy them more than once. Right. And I have a few, obviously. But what are some things that you can think of that you only need to buy once in your life? And I'm going to let you start because I got to go get these dogs.
Wow. Okay, you may have time to come back, because buy once in your life.
Yep.
Could be a house. I mean, you could buy, it doesn't happen that often, but you could legitimately buy your forever home right off the bat.
Yeah.
I would kind of say car, but, you know, the car's not going to last your whole life. Even if you have the best intentions, it's going to, you know, die on you at some point. Wow. I'm waiting for some people to throw out some suggestions on Facebook here, because I'm stumped now. I'm sure as soon as you say something, then I'll go, oh yeah. But I'm
going to give you my very first one.
Yeah.
Fish food. You buy one thing of goldfish food, you've got goldfish food for your whole freaking life.
Well, see, I never had goldfish.
But this is what I'm telling you. This is the kind of shit you buy one time. You never need to buy it. I got goldfish food and beta food for me, my kids, my grandkids, and my great-great-great-great-great-grandkids. They eat 4 pellets, and I got 87 million of them.
The use-by date was 1988?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of what else there'd be out there, because there's got to be something that I'm missing. What else you got, Will? Shout it out.
Just a second.
Okay.
Just pulling these dogs off here, and then I'll continue the discussion.
Trying to think. I'm spacing out now. I can't. There's got to be more. You could say a wedding ring if you're optimistic, and.
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of more. You go to Freddy's.
Yeah.
You could say something like, "Oh, I just had. What the hell did I say?" Or we were at Target the other day. Things that you consume. Okay, like a one of those mesh coffee filters.
Okay, yeah.
That's one thing.
There you go.
There you go, Tia. Cast iron.
Oh, yes. See, that's what I was waiting for. Nice suggestion.
Good suggestion.
We've got
some more smoking.
We've got about 87 of those sitting around, so we're set for life.
Only 87?
Yeah, maybe 89.
Well, then you don't have enough. You need more then.
Let's see, what else was there? Yeah, I didn't think about the whole reusable kind of stuff, so that's a good call.
Oh, hold on, I'm almost back. Just keep carrying us.
All right, see ya. Put out some more
Radio.
suggestions. Whoever else is on there. An RV.
What?
I'm looking at your trailer of their RV.
Yeah.
Well. Although those can break down like cars over time, fall apart on you.
Very much so.
That's a good question. That really caught me off guard because I can't. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff. I'm just like I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Okay. Because there's just as I try to get myself shimmied up to the damn microphone here. There's just a lot of things. You really like
that was awesome.
I still got to tell my story though. My sleeping story.
Oh yeah.
Wes just about lost his ish.
Yeah.
No, but there's just these things that you're never going to need again, but yet you have to buy it, and because they give you so much of it. What's the other? Oh, what's the stuff called? Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
You don't need 10 ounces of Gorilla Glue by and large. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you're a guy that's working around the house or handyman or something like that, okay, I'll give you that. But you don't need a giant 16-ounce bottle of Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
That stuff's going to be there from the time you're 30 until you're 70. And you're going to be like, shit, I don't need this. So no, I'm thinking more along the lines of that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
You got anything that you can think of?
No, I'm sure it'll come to me after we're done here, but yeah. I'll be darned if I can think of anything at the moment. Spacing out.
Yeah, you'd better not insult cast iron.
Yeah, I love cast iron.
Cast iron is the greatest cooking.
That's Tia's go-to garage sale item when she's out scouting and stuff, looking for the old Wagners.
No, okay, so
the
here
old school.
You got to look for Lodge. Is the number one because Lodge is the only cast iron, except now they have a new one I just saw a couple weeks ago.
Well, Tia's going to chime in here because she's got her stuff like the old ones, Griswold.
Okay, the main thing is that it's made in America, and our steel here is more pure, doesn't have as many impurities as Chinese steel, and so it is better for you because you're getting a lot of iron.
We've got like Depression era cast iron.
My grandmother still, in fact, I don't know. In fact, I'll bet you my uncle has it. My grandmother, who passed away in 2014 at the age of 83, I believe, and I know my uncle still has this pan. It was a cast iron pan she got when she and my grandfather got married when she was 18 or 19. So that thing is 70 years old probably, and it doesn't show anything.
There we go. Wagner and Griswold. Those are the old school ones from the.
Lodge is good though. Lodge is all U.S. made.
But she's more the she likes the relics, the antiques from.
That's why she's got you.
That's right. Hey, there it is.
Set it up, knock it out of the park.
You betcha.
Okay,
You know,
well,
we go.
since you don't have anything that you know what that you can only buy one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see that's awesome. I got to check that stuff out too.
Yeah.
I'll come over to your house.
That's garage. The Wagners and Griswolds she's talking about. We found those things at garage sales.
Yeah.
Those are like old ones, and she rehabs those, refurbs them, and
Well, it's
man,
the
they're
beauty
awesome.
of them
Yep.
is that, you know, you get a little
They last
Crisco and
forever.
stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with them. They're
Yep.
great. Okay, what's your next one?
All right, here we're going to the top 3. We talked about our top 3 foods in the past. We talked about top 3 cuts of beef, top 3 foods in general. We did top 3 seafoods at the coast. Now, I want to take a page out of our playbook on the top 3 foods because I think we both said Asian number 1.
Yeah.
So now we're going to dive in deeper. Your top 3 Asian foods.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, I'm totally down with that. You want me
And
to
I don't
start?
want to. And you need to be specific. You can't just say like sushi. That's too. Not. I don't
Oh,
want
no, because I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I know.
don't
I
like
know.
them.
So yeah,
There's a lot of sushi that tastes like
a
ass to me.
specific entree is what I would say. Your top 3 Asian entrees.
Okay.
So
You want me to start?
yeah, go for it. Number
Okay,
3.
number 3, I'm going to say yakisoba. Legit yakisoba with buckwheat noodles because I can't eat the wheat noodles. Love noodles in a pan with the veggies, the chicken, all that fun stuff. That is unbelievable. It's comfort food. It's good food. It's not too heavy, not a lot of fake stuff into it. Very few ingredients.
Yeah.
Usually the noodles are handmade. Number 3. Go ahead.
Number 3 for me is General Tso's chicken.
Really?
I've always had a weak spot for that. Just a little.
Is that real over in China?
No, it's not. But it's Asian inspired. But no, I don't. I think it is not really. It's more of an Americanized Chinese thing.
Because this General Chow, who is he?
I don't know. Some.
Sao or Su?
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe like.
Is that what his name
like
is?
Custer, General
Yeah, there
Custer.
you
Yeah.
go.
But anyway, that's a weakness of mine is General Tso's chicken. So,
Really?
but yeah, I think you are correct. It's not really truly a Chinese.
I think
dish.
I know what your number 1's going to be,
Uh-oh.
but you better say it right on air. Number 2 for me is going to be, I'm going to go sushi. I'm just going to go with the not nori, what the hell is it called? Nori's the one with the wrap.
Nori's the seaweed itself.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
thinking nigiri
Nigiri.
with the fish on piece of fish on top of the rice?
I like nigiri, but the ones that I really like, I don't like the stuff that's all deep fried and all that crap, like the Philly rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily. I like the one with what the hell is it called? It's got the smoked salmon.
Like that.
That might be the Philly
That's the
roll.
Philly roll, cream cheese and smoked
Yeah,
salmon.
cream cheese,
Yeah.
smoked salmon. I know that's not probably the Japanese
legit
take on
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
but I've
Oh, that's
also
good, yeah.
you know I've done the eel, but that is the type of sushi that I like is that kind,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll do some raw, but not a significant amount.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have to say probably the Philly roll somewhere around there.
Number 2 for me is Mongolian beef.
There it is.
Just the is that what you want me to pronounce with the rolling R instead of the L?
Uh-huh.
So that's number 2. Just a nice cut of flank steak, real thin, and then you just sear it in the wok just to get it nice and crispy on the outside, but it's still chewy on the inside. Then you got your little teriyaki-ish sauce on there with the scallions. That's just dynamite. I could eat that every day. That is really good stuff.
So I'm gonna go with a Thai dish that is my number 1 for anything, and that's courtesy of Wes. Because before Wes introduced this to me, I thought all Thai was just curry, and so I
And peanut sauce stuff.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I love peanut sauce.
Yeah.
But I thought it was vast majority of it was curry, so I stayed away from it. You introduced me to pad ki mao, and it changed my life.
Yes.
And it made me realize because as soon as I like something, I'll go do countless hours of research on it because I want to know everything there is. I
Right.
want to know from stem to stern about it. And I figured out that curry is actually a relatively small part of Thai food. And so, with that being said, pad ki mao, white rice noodles with chicken, with bell peppers, with the egg, all of those good things in there are just, that is my numero uno when it comes to Asian food. Pad Kee Mao all day long, any day, damn near any day.
I thought that was your number 2.
Was that my number 2?
I think it was your number 2. No, you said sushi was 2, right?
Sushi was
my
2.
bad.
I just did my number 1.
Okay.
And do we need? This is the most we've drank on an episode. We're gonna do one where we're about 3 drinks in before we hit play,
Go.
and then we'll start taking shots at Casamigos.
So my number 1 is the same thing, Pad Kee Mao.
There we go.
I love it.
See, great minds think
And
alike.
I would add to it. I like the big chunks of green onion in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it actually. I've had it with numerous different proteins. My favorite, I think I would say, as a tie for the first would be either chicken or tofu. It's really
Ooh.
good with extra firm tofu.
Nah, man, you
and
can't do
throw-
tofu.
Oh man, that's I agree with you. Normally, I'm not a big tofu guy, but in Pad Kee Mao, it is awesome because you throw it in there and you get that sear on the skillet. But because I've had it with like calamari and squid and beef and pork, I've had it pretty much with everything, and I'm not a big fan of any of the other stuff. But I would say chicken 1 and tofu is a close second for the proteins on that. But,
Really?
But and there's not that you can't request that it not be in there, but the way that I was introduced to Pad Kee Mao was that especially there was no the 2 things that I don't like that I see in it a lot are bamboo shoots and water chestnuts.
Yeah, I don't like water
I
chestnuts.
am not a fan of either of those. And when we were in Long Beach, the Thai place that we went to had bamboo shoots in their Pad Kee Mao.
Ah, see, that's why you should have come to my place.
So I kind of had to scrape those off to the side a little bit. But
My place, you wouldn't have been scraping anything to the side. Tia, trust me, the oysters were on point.
But what I was bummed about is I got hooked on Pad Kee Mao when we lived in Vancouver. There was a joint near our condo. But since we moved out to Washougal several years ago, the 2 Thai places in Camas, both of them use bamboo shoots in their Pad Kee Mao.
Really?
I'm like, I mean, it's like I said, not to say you can't say, hold the bamboo shoots, but to me, it's just like.
See, I like the bamboo shoots.
Oh, do you?
I don't like the water chestnuts, but I like bamboo shoots.
Okay, yeah.
I like the crunch of them.
Yeah.
But no, that's it's such a solid meal.
Oh, man.
It really is, and especially when you get we like Thai Little Home down on 4th Plain in
Yeah,
Camas.
you talked a lot. I haven't. No, not Camas.
Not Camas.
That's
Sorry.
Yeah.
4th Plain in Vancouver. You've got to go there because it's the family Thai restaurant. They're yelling at each other. At least
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like. They're probably giving each other a compliment. But they've got. I don't know where they find all these 90-plus-year-old women to be back there chefing the
Cooking.
shit up.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing.
Yep.
And they're yelling at everyone at the top of their lungs, and it's the greatest. I mean, there's other good, like Camas Thai has, or Kop Chai has
Chai,
good
yeah.
Pad Kee Mao. There's a lot of good Pad Kee Mao around here, but I would say that my favorite is from
Thai Little Home.
Thai Little Home. Yeah, go check
right.
that out if you can. So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on my second for the freestyle, and that's because we are only a couple of weeks away from my Oregon State Beavers, who I am repping all y'all online
Can
watching.
get slaughtered by Ohio State? Is that what we're talking
yes.
about?
Watch your mouth. Urban Meyer's getting fired.
Well, that's not going to.
Urban Meyer's getting fired, and he's the only reason that team's any
Yeah,
good.
if they fire
it has
the
nothing
team,
to
then
do
they
with
might,
all of the 5-star athletes they have. Okay, how many championships have they won since Nick Saban became the coach at Alabama? Not that many.
You see the Vegas spread on that, by the way?
No.
I looked last night. That would be 35 and a half.
Are you kidding me?
35 and a half to the Ohio State.
I actually got somebody to take it at 30.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I'll take that all day long and
Yeah,
bet against my
that's-
Beavers.
That's it's funny because
They took the Beavers at 30.
30.
And it was at 35. It was my uncle. I almost felt sorry. But he wanted it. I'm like, okay.
It's funny because that happens to be that game happens to be on the day we're doing our fantasy football draft. And
is it?
One of the guys in our league is Saturday, September 1st at 9 a.m., which is when we're starting our draft. One of the guys in our league is a diehard Beavs fan.
Nice.
And
He's my kind of guy.
So I joked with him. I said, we're going to have a secondary screen set up off to the side so you can watch the game while we're doing our
You can just
football
come over
draft.
to my house.
And he said no because he didn't want to watch it because he'd be permanently scarred for life because he knows how bad it's going to be.
No, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think 49-7. That's my prediction.
So that 35 and a half spread, you're thinking that's too conservative then? Is that what you're telling me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
That's why when my uncle said 30, I was
yeah.
like, I have to get as much money on
Yeah.
this as he would be. No, I didn't get that much, but no, I
think
do not
30 is
believe
way
that.
too thin on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that Urban is not getting fired anytime soon. B,
That's a side story. We got to keep track of that for
Yeah.
our hot sheet or something because that's a dumpster fire there.
boy howdy, and B, Jonathan Smith is going to do amazing things for the program. I loved what Corey did at the end of Corey Hawkins did at the end of last year when Gary Anderson decided to double finger him and take some money and run. Or actually, I think he gave him money back.
Yeah, he
or
did. He did. Yeah,
he
you're
didn't
right.
take it, but he wasn't a good fit for the Bees. But
No.
anyway, I think that Jonathan is, but with everything, it takes time to
Oh,
build
yeah.
it up. And
Yeah.
when you walk into a buzzsaw that is somebody that has a really, really one of 3 legit shots at winning the national championship, I would say Alabama, probably
Clemson?
Auburn,
Auburn?
Clemson,
Yeah, Auburn. I forgot. Yeah.
and Ohio State.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But it's always fun, and for me, it's all about the barbecue. So that's going to lead me into what
nice.
what my point is. What are your?
Oh, you got a point?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, my bad.
This is me rambling along. Hey, everyone, watch Will ramble and is wearing an apron.
Beavers apron.
Yeah, got my KCP shirt on though. I've been repping that. Since we're back in Washougal now,
Wow.
back in Washougal now. I've been repping the KCP 2 times. It's been somebody
asked
has
you about it?
No, they've recognized it.
Oh.
And I had another guy yesterday. We were at Target. He said, "Oh, Kinetic Chaos. That sounds really neat. What is it?" And so I told him.
There you go.
He's a struggling actor working at Target, and so I was like, "Hey,
Oh.
whatever.
Those
You got to
guys.
do what you got to do to,
That's right.
get after it." So anyway, no, the point that I wanted to make with my part of the freestyle here is we're gonna go to the top 3, and we're gonna keep it in foods. What are your top 3 football foods?
Oh,
If we're going, let's do it. Let's blow
Yeah.
this month out. Let's say Super Bowl.
are we
top
okay?
3 Super Bowl
Now,
foods?
do we
And I'm
need
sure
to-
we're going to come back to
Do
this.
we need to quantify it as being like a side or a main course,
no,
or just anything?
your top 3
Three food,
things you want to
period.
see at a football party? And it doesn't have to be Super
No.
Bowl, but
Yeah. 3
and
in
this is
general.
just me asking so that down the road when you come over for football, I'll have it. But
Amen.
no, I'm joking.
I would say number 3 is one I'm going with on draft day, and what I do for Super Bowl parties as well is the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers on the
ABTs.
smoker. Yep,
Atomic Buffalo Turds.
turds. Yep, that's the way to do it.
Why don't you explain to them what they are?
That would be at least the way I do it is to take a jalapeno, cut the stem end off, cut it laterally lengthwise, scoop out the seeds. I kind of leave some of the ribbing in there to keep the heat in there. Fill it up with cream cheese, wrap it up with half a slice of bacon. I cut the bacon in half and kind of stretch it out a little bit, and then
You
wrap it
whistle
around
at it?
there. Yeah, whistle at it too. Yeah, you got it. Wrap it around there, and then I used to just do them in the oven before I got a smoker, but now that I have a smoker,
Got it.
they go in the smoker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to have them in the smoker.
Yeah, but that's
So that's your number 3.
I can just go nuts on those. Yep.
Okay, my number 3, I do love ABTs, but a staple in the Slater household is chili cheese dip.
Oh yeah, nice.
Chili cheese dip, nothing fancy. Oh, I do dress it up, and this is how I do it. I get big ass can of Nally's chili. I think it's 2 cans the way I do it. Yeah, 1 normal, 1 thick. Okay, and then I go big ass block of fake cheese, Velveeta. Then we take it up a notch. I throw a few hollies in there, jalapenos, pickled, not fresh. Top it off with my hot sauce.
Oh, nice.
No one else's but
Yeah,
mine.
absolutely.
Because mine has some smokiness to it.
Yep.
And I don't put enough in there to make it blast your ears out or anything, but that is, especially when we start getting into a little bit cooler weather, I have that in the crock pot with the chips, and we get those big old thick Fritos and stuff
Yep.
like that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, that stuff is so good.
Yeah.
So good. So I will say that is my number 3. So what's your number 2?
Number 2 is when my wife jumped the gun and she already mentioned it on there. That would be mac and cheese.
Really?
And I'm just a big, I don't know what it is, but I'm not the Kraft blue box mac and cheese.
Wrong
I'm
with
talking
that? Yeah, don't be knocking that.
I'm talking legit mac, like made from scratch mac and cheese. That's a big weakness of mine. And just recently, I started doing it on the smoker, and that adds a little extra layer of action to it.
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna do it this year too for our football party. I'm doing because I usually don't do it that way, but I'm gonna toss some bacon in there.
Nice.
So
That is a great way to spice it up. I love mac and cheese. Kim and I actually did a mac and cheese off here several years ago. You know, me being gluten free, it's just one of those things that I have macaroni. The Tinkyada macaroni is not bad for rice noodles, but and I'll make it every once in a while, but it's not something that's really, really great.
Right.
So for my number 2, I'm going to say, drum roll please, chicken wings.
Ooh.
Chicken wings. I like them a couple of different ways. I make from scratch. I'll make a Parmesan garlic. Oh yeah, there's Bronx. You all can see him scratching his. Yep, there's everything. All Bronx in all of his glory. Licking it. Bronx.
Right back over here.
Come here, Bronx. Get out of here. You quit licking yourself, damn it. Anyway, hey Bob, what are you doing? I would definitely say I could do a Parmesan garlic, kind of like what Buffalo Wild Wings does, but I make it, and then I love the original, but I take Frank's hot sauce, and I'll put some of my hot sauce, some butter, Worcestershire, and garlic. Ooh. And I let that simmer for about an hour if I can, and then I put it over the wings. And then I also will sometimes just break down and go get the Asian Zing stuff at Buffalo Wild Wings, because that is so good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It is amazing. So we'll you'll be getting some chicken wings. I go a little bit crazy with the cheese whiz on the chicken wings.
Love me some wings.
Yeah. In fact, we'll put up when we do this post, I'll put up a photo. I'm sure some people have seen, but with this of what my smoker looks like on.
Wing laden smoker.
It's got
with the
one of
pork
them's
butts
got it's got a pork butt. One of the photos has a 46-pound turkey, pork butts, briskets, tri-tip, chicken wings, ABTs. I think that several racks of ribs in my smoker. So and if that's not smoker porn, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So okay, what's your number 1? Number 2?
Oh, sorry. We're still on that. Hello. Your number 1 would be, my number 1, the smoked meat, the meat of all
pork.
Meats. Oh no,
no brisket.
Yeah,
sorry.
it is.
My
Yeah,
bad.
brisket is my number 1.
You like that for the football and whatnot?
Pulled pork is an honorable mention. I definitely like it, but brisket is outstanding.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like the way that Matt's has it, where it's just like you just look at it and it cuts itself. It's so tender.
We're going back to Matt's, by the way. We need to go do that just to do a follow up on some other food, but I want that burn-in bacon again.
Oh, the pork belly?
Oh
man, yep.
Gosh,
I got to do that. I got to do that batching and bring you over some. Now that you're close by.
Yeah. Well, and I'll be doing
really,
it too,
really
because I'm going to bring the vault over this week, so we'll have the big boy set up out here, and we'll be doing some serious smoking. But for me, my number 1, that's just going to be pulled pork.
Yeah.
I love brisket. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still, when it comes down to it, pulled pork sandwich. We've talked about it tons and tons when it comes to the football food, and we do all kinds of stuff on our football shows, or football weekends. But no, pulled pork, that's the go-to.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What's your next one? Your third one?
My third one is the top 3 toppings on a pizza.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3.
Oh man, you're gonna. Okay.
I had a tough time trying to dial it in.
Top 3 pizzas or top 3
toppings? Topping. Just top 3 toppings only. Yep.
Okay.
So you got to give me individual toppings.
I got you. Yeah. Okay, you want me to start? Or you want me? Okay. Number 3 for me is Actually, I'm just gonna list all 3. I think this one lends it better because it kind of paints the picture of how the pizza will come together.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, and I'll do the same thing because I like these 3 things on the same pizza.
Yes,
me
too.
Same type of deal.
So for me, it's going to be mushrooms, sausage, and peppers.
Like bell pepper?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. For me, and you said mushroom, and that I had a tough time leaving that off the list because I love mushrooms on pizza. But I would say that's like 3A for me, or 3B.
Really?
But my top 3 are going to be bacon, jalapenos, and onion.
Wow. Tia.
Love me some jalapeno on the pizza. pizza.
Do you? No, it's all right.
And what's kind of cool is unless you're like one of those fanatics that think it's just complete heresy to put pineapple on a pizza, it's a cool contrast of going jalapeno pineapple on a pizza. You get the sweet meat going on. Yeah, that's a really cool combo too. But yeah, bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon, obviously. But yeah, bacon, jalapeno, onion.
Okay.
I've
never. I mean, your breath has to be horrendous.
Oh yeah. I just go eat in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you come out of the closet, we all have the problem.
Yeah.
No, wow. No, that would smell in a lot of different ways. But no, it sounds good.
Yeah.
For me, I gotta have the crunch. On pizza, I like having that's why I like having the bell peppers on there. The mushrooms provide, I think, a really good balance against the sauce, the zestiness of that. And I like sausage anyway.
Yeah.
Italian sausage.
As I said, do you like the sliced Italian sausage or the crumbled kind of sausage?
Crumbled.
Okay.
Yeah. The bigger crumbles.
Yeah,
the kind of what are they the size of a marble?
Yeah.
That type size. That would be my preference when it comes to.
But like the sliced, like the chorizo or the linguiça, like the
no, I don't want spicy.
No? Okay. All right.
Nope. I want just regular old sausage.
Right.
I don't. Linguiça is great.
Yeah.
All chorizo is awesome, but not something that's a super go-to. If I want my heat, I add hot sauce to my pizza.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I want it to be super spicy. I don't know that I've really subjected myself to that, though. Because I've done jalapenos, but they're usually pickled. There's not a lot of heat in it.
Yeah.
So that's...
One thing I want to throw out as an honorable mention, as an unpaid sponsor to the show, is Twilight Pizza on 192nd. They have a pizza that is just ridiculous. It's my go-to every time that I go there. It's called the Jester. For those of you who've been there, you may recognize that name. The sauce base, the sauce base is a 50-50 pizza sauce and barbecue sauce.
Oh wow!
Mixed together. Then you hit it with the cheese, obviously, grilled chicken, and then there's jalapeno and I believe bacon and pineapple. And then on top of all that, they drizzle honey.
Really?
It is ridiculously good. Absolutely. Oh man. Yeah, because you got the sweetness from the barbecue sauce, and then you got the heat from the jalapeno, and then you come back yet again with the sweet of the pineapple and the little hint of sweet on the top. With the honey drizzle on top. It is unbelievable.
That actually sounds really good.
Yeah. The first time I thought, ooh, honey on a pizza, that's kind of weird. But I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And that's my go-to. That's like the best pizza I've ever had.
What's the name of it by chance?
The Jester.
The Jester.
Jester. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we have gone to Twilight one time, and it was going to be a 2-hour wait, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I don't have the patience for it. I don't know which Kinetic Chaos Productions person just put up Anyone Check the Grill lately, but that was awesome.
She may be
Tia, David, Holly, somebody I know is on the account, and no, I'm smoking the chicken, so no worries. There's nothing wrong with the chicken. It's not burning. I'm doing a full offset. The fire is on one side, the chicken's on the other. I got the apple wood on there, so it's smoking. It's doing good.
And one other shout out I got to give to Twilight is that on their pizzas, I've had numerous different ones and they're all good, but the Jester's my favorite. But what particularly I want to give them credit for is the amount of toppings they throw on there.
Oh yeah,
they load it on there like you get a 10-inch pizza and the thing weighs like 10 pounds. Yep. It was really ironic to me is I read a review on Yelp from them one time. Somebody gave them like 1 star. And the complaint was that they had too many toppings.
It was a New Yorker, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You want to get ripped off for just cheese?
No, I haven't. No, people do.
Yeah, man.
I mean, because we go to Giuliano's typically, where the guy that runs or that started Twilight, he came from Giuliano's. Super nice guy. I think his name's Don. His wife's
it is.
Awesome.
Yep.
And so yeah, no, they put on tremendous amount of toppings on both pizzas, Giuliano's or Twilight's, and I've actually heard a number of people complain about that because if they're from back east, Chicago's all about the 87-pound pizza that's all dough, with and sauce. Well, I'm going to try Illuminati sometime, but I just don't see where that is. And I've had plenty of New York pizza in my time, and I like it. It's good, but I was raised out here, and getting a pizza that is, super thin and dripping with grease and cheese is just not something that is. It's something that you should definitely do if you go to Manhattan or go to New York.
And look at that is that doesn't fill me up because you got a thin crust, you got a little cheese, a little sauce, a little meat. It's like eating a flatbread sandwich. There's like nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
I want substance, man. So it's like when I go to Twilight, you got the toppings stacked on like 2 inches thick.
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of deal because then all you need is like an 8-inch pizza and you're good, man, because there's so much food on there.
I think the pizza purists, the real reason that they have a problem with it is that it takes away from the sauce, from the dough, and that's what they are really big on back east is the Brooklyn water, how they treat the dough, and for them it's about the actual making of the dough and the sauce.
Right, yeah.
And then the cheese is the cheese. And they'll bring in Pecca Romano, all those types of things, bring in stuff from Italy and whatnot. But by and large, it's those little things. Whereas the crust is just a delivery mechanism for us.
Oh, yeah. It's
we
the vehicle.
we want the good
shovel
stuff.
the toppings in.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the way we look at it.
Roasted garlic cloves is on the Jester. I forgot that one. That's another topping I forgot that's on the Jester. I knew I was forgetting something. So
we get fresh garlic on the when we go to Giuliano's. We get the fresh garlic, and Kim gets fresh tomatoes on hers.
Yeah, that's dynamite.
They go on after
the cooking. Yep.
After the cooking,
Yep.
which is awesome.
I like the fresh tomatoes too.
Well, I think that about wraps up the freestyle. You ready to go into crunch time?
Yeah.
You got a good one for crunch time?
I just got a happy one.
Happy one. I like it.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm ready.
The fact that you're here now.
Yeah, I like it.
It's the happy crunch times that we're close in proximity. It's going to make recording so much easier, getting together. It's going to be a blast. We can do so much more stuff at the drop of a hat now because we're like right next door to each other almost. Yep. It's just, I'm glad you guys are here. This is awesome. We're going to have a fun time.
Yeah, we are. Thank you very much. And I'll say the same thing, that for my crunch time, it's so fun to be back in the hometown, seeing people that I've known for a long time, haven't seen for a long time, and making new connections as well. But to have those people that I'm close with nearby, and where it doesn't take actual planning to do something like, hey, you want to come over and have a cocktail? Sure, I'm a minute away.
Right.
And now I can ride my bike everywhere. I'm taking my bike in next week to get serviced. So I can, we can ride to the store, ride to your place, ride to your folks, whatever it may be. You don't have to fire up the diesel every time. I mean, all of those things are huge bonuses for me, but I'm just thankful to be back out of the city and a little more quiet, a little less hustle and bustle. Not that there's not tweakers everywhere, but, yesterday when I was back out in Vancouver, we had another issue. But I am going to end with this story that you heard.
Tia's still online. I believe she's got to hear this because I kind of alluded to this. So let her know about this. This is awesome.
So we're in the new house. We've had 2 nights here. I've been in this house numerous times in my life. Never slept here, but been in this house. So last night, go to bed. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. And I was tired. Moving sucks. It's hard. Anyway, so go to bed. And all of a sudden, I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm bashing my head on something. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I can't see anything. You're so, out of it. You don't know. I didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, the door opens. Well, in the master in this house, you actually have storage behind one of the walls, and it has a door that I have to duck.
It's like a little half high or 3/4 high door.
Yeah, I mean, basically, my head, if tried to walk through it, it would cut my head off. So I sleepwalked for the first time since I can remember. I opened that door, I closed it behind me, and Kim had actually gotten up to go to the bathroom, and she can hear me in this room banging away on shit, hitting my head on everything, but evidently I wasn't making any noise, ow, oh, anything like that. I just kept running into the wall, hitting my head on things. So then all of a sudden she whips the door open. What are you doing? And I'm like...
And you fall out. You spill out of the door.
No, I walked out. And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea where I am. because I didn't have any idea. And then I finally got my bearings about me. I woke up like halfway through it, beating my head on these wood planks, like and not knowing what was going on. But yeah, no, Kim can probably tell the story better. But yeah, so I walked into a room and pitch black, had no idea what was going on. She opens the door, I pop out, and like nothing happened. I say, I don't know where I was, go to the bathroom. We both laugh our rear ends off and go to sleep.
That was awesome.
About
Because
2:30
she gave me
this
the
morning.
visual tour of the whole scenario, the layout, the floor plan up there. So I got to see it point of view style up there, and it was awesome.
It was pretty funny.
I can't even imagine, but that was
Yeah,
I was
good
dying
time.
laughing.
You have anything else?
I got nothing.
Well, this has been Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 40. Thank you very much for watching and listening. The chicken is still safe on the barbecue. The dogs are off.
Oh,
we're
let's
gonna
get
go
those
enjoy.
brats.
Yeah, we're gonna go have a brat and some more guacamole and chips and whatnot. But we will see you guys again. For those listening on the podcast, this will drop tomorrow on Monday. We will be on air tomorrow night again about 5 o'clock. Between 5 and 5:30, look for another live broadcast for Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 41. Do you want to thank anyone else? Do we have anything else?
I don't think so. Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 40. This is the beginning of Season 3. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I am Will.
I'm Wes.
We gone. For those of you watching online, thank you so much for watching. What do we got, Lloyd?
Roseburg. No.
You moved to Roseburg from Depot Bay? Wow. You'll have to fill me in on that there, Jeremy. Lloyd. I'm not going to tell the story why your name's Lloyd, but your real name's Jeremy. Not on air, at least. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Thank
we
you.
are going to wrap this bad boy up. Cheers to you.
I got nothing, but
You got nothing?
cheers to an empty glass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can fix that. Jason, you just caught us at the end. We'll upload it. You can watch the show. Thank you, guys.